Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we are in Starke County, Indiana, updating you guys about the arrest of 64-year-old Michael Densmore at the hands of Starke County Sheriff's Deputy Charles Leonhart. Mr. Densmore was arrested for disorderly conduct and resisting law enforcement. The actual arrest took place last year, so I included the link to the original video in the description below. Be sure to check it out and come back here for the update. Now let's get into the video. All charges brought against Mr. Densmore by Starke County law enforcement agencies have been dismissed. The journey to get from being charged illegally to getting the case dismissed was a long one for Michael, and I personally got involved myself. After the charges were dismissed, I sat down with Michael in an exclusive interview that I'm happy to bring you now. Let's get into it. Michael, thanks for joining me today for this interview. It's great to have you.
Hey, thank you.
All right. So, first of all, I wanted to ask, when you were first arrested, what was going through your head?
The only thing I was thinking of is that this guy was violating her Fourth Amendment, and he was going on the word of the dog. And I've always wondered why they didn't let the dog into the car to get whatever it smelled. But
why don't you send your dog in there to get it?
You can stand there.
I know I can.
You can stand there, but you're going to be quiet.
No, I don't have to be
Yes,
quiet.
you will be.
So why don't you send your dog in there to get it?
Sure. That's 2 times I've asked you to be quiet. Now I won't.
Send your dog in there.
Turn around.
No.
Turn around. Turn around and put your hands behind your back, or this is going to get ugly.
this lady is out here crying on the street because this cop is doing whatever he's doing. And I just had to go out there and see what was going on. So I laid there on that cot for 48 hours wondering if I actually am going to get through this.
Okay, and that kind of goes into my second question. So you were behind bars for 48 hours exactly, or is that kind of a rough estimate?
Yeah, it was right at noon, I guess. He just says if you answer the questions, we'll let you go. But you know, I should have held out, but I just wanted to get out of there. I think I made my point the night before, talking to the jailer.
Yeah.
I made my point, and the only reason I was in there for 48 hours is because I wouldn't tell them information that they had no right to know.
What kind of questions did they want you to answer in order to release you?
They wanted my social security number and a bunch of medical information.
Which they definitely do not need.
No.
Okay.
It's like 6 or 7 questions about, personal medical history. And when I went, right off the bat, I was in there and they asked me my name, date of birth, and where I lived, and I gave it to them. And then they said social security number. I said, you don't need that. Just like that. It's 48 hours. I can keep you for 48 hours, and threw me right in the cell, and that was it. It was basically retaliation for not answering the question.
Yeah.
It didn't have anything to do with the 48 hours to get probable cause. It was retaliation.
Michael, how many times were you forced to appear in court for this case?
I went in front of the judge just once.
If given the opportunity to do this whole ordeal over again, would you have held your tongue, or would you have continued to pose the question about the dog to this officer?
If I would do it again, if I saw a girl standing out on the street crying with 2 thugs standing around them, sure, I would do it again.
Thank you. Well, we really appreciate that, Michael. That's really great. Could you share with me the story of how you got your attorney and how everything transpired for you with the civil suit and the criminal suit?
Yeah, I called all around the surrounding areas, and I got answers like, we don't do that. We don't go up there. You know, it's like you got to get a lawyer from over there because they do things different over there. You know, they're talking about Starke County.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to I'm not actually sure. I think, did I send you the video or?
So I actually saw the video on James Freeman's channel, and I reached out to you.
Okay, great. Yeah, and you're the reason I have a lawyer at all, really. You gave me some information. They they jumped on it.
On top of that, your criminal lawyer must have also been pretty confident in his ability as well, right? Because you got a contingency-based...
Yeah, he was one of those guys I contacted and said, you know, hey, I got some problem. We don't go down there.
Yeah.
And he was one, and then my civil lawyer says, you need to get a hold of this guy. And, you know, he did the same thing, put a lien on the settlement. And
I am just so happy that we actually have law firms that will do this kind of stuff to protect us. And I'm going to give those law firms a shout out, both of them. The civil firm is David Gladish Law Firm. They do great work over there. And then the criminal lawyer that took Michael's case on contingency, which most criminal lawyers do not do, was Michael Campbell Law. He does great work, and shout out to both of those law firms. They protect our rights, and they obviously did it in Michael's case on contingency, which means Michael does not pay anything up front, and that's just a blessing to have lawyers that are willing to do stuff like that. Well, Michael, that's great. I'm glad that everything did work out for you the way that it did, and thank you for coming on for an interview today.
well, thank you. You know, this would not be working out the way it is without your help. Believe it or not, it's very, very important what you do.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Michael, and we look forward to hearing about the outcome of the civil suit. So we will be hearing from you shortly, hopefully.
Alrighty.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
While it may seem that justice prevailed on this occasion, it didn't happen without a lot of effort and bravery on the part of Michael and his attorneys. Michael's criminal defense attorney filed a 13-page motion to dismiss shortly after taking this case. In this motion, titled State of Indiana versus Michael Densmore, a legal fiction, Attorney Campbell cites Houston versus Hill, along with a multitude of other case law and legal precedents. When a motion to dismiss is filed, the judge presiding decides whether there is enough evidence to hold a trial or whether a constitutional violation occurred. After determining these things, the judge either orders the case dismissed or denies the motion and the case goes forward. In this case, Judge Charles F. Hasnerl of the Knox City Court denied Attorney Campbell's motion. I guess he didn't agree with the Supreme Court when it said, "The freedom of individuals verbally to oppose or challenge police action without thereby risking arrest is one of the principal characteristics by which we distinguish a free nation from a police state." Now you may ask yourself, if the judge denied Attorney Campbell's motion to dismiss, how did the case get dismissed? The answer, the prosecutor. In another section of Campbell's motion, he mentions that malicious prosecution may be an issue in this case. He wrote, "Should this matter proceed past the filing of this motion, the court is herein noticed of intentional tort. There is no possible outcome of this matter where the prosecution can ever hold a victory, as any appellate court would enforce the First Amendment upon appeal. This matter is clearly retaliatory with the ulterior motive to chill the people from the open redress of corrupt police. Axiomatic, there is no immunity, judicial or otherwise, in conjunction with a clear lack of probable cause." Apparently, this was enough to move the prosecutor into filing his own motion to dismiss. The judge accepting the state's motion and denying Attorney Campbell's has raised eyebrows about the integrity of Judge Hasnerl's court, and might leave some people wondering if the good judge's willingness to side with the state is seen in all cases he handles. Alright guys, we're going to end the video there. All information will be in the description. If you'd like to thank Michael for standing for his rights, leave him a comment in the comment section below. He will see them. Thank you for watching. To make sure you see future content, hit the subscribe button and like the video. It helps a lot. See you in the next one, guys. Take care.